Hi, I'm reporter Andrew Fleming, and I'm sitting here today with entertainment editor and oral hygiene enthusiast Michael Kissinger, a white man who can jump. We're here to talk to you today about our latest video. Now, for those of you who've been watching at home, every couple of weeks we've been focusing on different neighborhoods in the Vancouver area, and the latest one is the Musqueam Reserve. Now, you could argue, of course, that all Vancouver is once upon a time itself a Musqueam neighborhood, and we're just kind of poaching on it, but that's a different story. Today we're here to talk about a hip-hop artist that Michael met in the Musqueam. What can you tell me about it, Michael?
Her name is Christy Lee Charles. She goes by Miss Christy Lee. She is a young mother of two young kids, and she raps in the I can never pronounce this. It's the downriver dialect of Musqueam, Hulkameelam, I believe it's called.
Hulkameelam. Okay, so she raps in this exclusively in this language, or she kind of mix it up?
She does mix it up. It's a very difficult. She rarely admits it's a very difficult language to pronounce. There's not very many people that speak the language anymore. Her grandparents were fairly instrumental in kind of preserving the language and passing it down from generation to generation. So it's a way of honoring the language, helping preserve it, and also helping turn people onto it as well.
That seems interesting to me, too, that First Nations would be doing hip-hop, because in hip-hop, I mean, along with breakdancing, of course, but I mean, it's traditionally rooted in the fighting oppression, social justice. It seems timely that it's now becoming kind of a growing movement or a growing thing in hip-hop circles. Is that fair to say?
Well, especially in Canada, obviously, First Nation hip-hop is growing, especially there's a lot of acts in Winnipeg, a tribe called Red out of Ottawa, who were, I believe, up for a Polaris Prize, perhaps. So it is growing. It's not growing hugely necessarily in the Musqueam community. As far as I know, Christy Lee is one of the few that's doing actual hip hop music. But her influences, she just admits that she is a child of the '80s. She grew up with a lot of hip hop, and that's the type of music she gravitates towards.
I confess, too, I mean, being a card-carrying middle-aged white guy, I find it difficult to understand what people are saying in rap sometimes, and almost like the language is, I wouldn't say irrelevant, but I mean, you can enjoy it even if you can't understand exactly what she's saying. It's more the flow of the music and the rhythm and all the rest. But why don't I shut up and stop talking about it and let you see for yourself? Let's cut to the video. Thanks, Michael.
Nisiyam nisiyaya thikum quinam seb hitabka nisiyam nisiyaya nisiyam nisiyaya antaskaklia talatin atla homasuyam tamas thana tentatholama thana mentatsamkin hitabqua mitapqui iname tequelmoch tamas yeah
Ichuael antaskaklia talatin atla homasuyam Haichka michu kuquilam ta mali tamas tanashwael my name is Christy Charles, and I'm from Musqueam, and I just welcome you here to Mali, here in Musqueam. This area that we're in right now is called the Mali. It's right at the mouth of the Fraser River.
Nisiyam nisiyaya thikum quinam seb hijdka siyam nisiyaya antaskaklia talatin homasquim masteo.
It's the downriver dialect. We're Hunkaminam speaking people. We belong to the Salish language family, and our language was almost extinct. It was through my grandparents, my great-grandparents, that they helped bring it back to our community along with other very respected members of the Musqueam community. So I was born in the 80s, so that's like when hip-hop was like, it was all about hip-hop. We'd always beatbox and battle rap and do graffiti and try to break dance and just freestyle all the time, and it's just something that was happening within our community too. Like, everybody was into it. The one song that I first recorded in Hunkaminam dialect has kind of become like this song that everybody connects me to. But I have a whole bunch of other music, and it's not all in our dialect. There are, like, my newer songs have verses that have different sayings in our Musqueam language. But yeah, all my music just talks about culture and experience and life. I guess just growing up in the time that I've grown up in my generation, it's been okay to stand up and express ourselves as First Nations people without, being put into jail or without being looked down upon. But people come up to me after a show or after a performance and they'll be like, oh wow, like your language is so crazy, and I'm like, oh, thanks. Well, I just hope it makes people feel good, makes them want to dance. Hope it excites them a bit, but also I hope they walk away with something, I don't know, a sense of pride. No matter what nationality they're from, they're someone. They came from a great line of important people, and you never know. You never know. What kind of gifts you can share with the world until you step out there and shine. So that's what I always try to share.
Nisiyam, nisiyaya, thikum queen and sep, hide, nisiyam, nisiyam.